So hey guys, hope you're doing well. It's Liam here from Primal Nomad. Thanks ever so much for coming and checking out the video. Today I'm really excited because I'm doing a solo wild camp. I haven't done one actually in about 4 years. Can you believe it or not? So to those of you who are still subscribed to the channel and still watch, thanks ever so much. And I can't wait to jump in. I'm in my local woodland and yeah, it's going to be a good adventure. Really nice October day. And I've got work tomorrow, but that's not stopping me. So let's get going. That's a whopper, guys. It's the later porous, or chicken of the woods, and it's a really good find. This one, unfortunately, a little bit far gone. It's really dry, crispy. So if I break a little bit of this, you can see exactly why it gets its name, chicken of the woods. It breaks just like cooked chicken breast. Amazing. And of course, this is still probably good. You know, if you wanted to dry this out, I'd say this would be perfect still. But for me, just a little bit far gone and dry around the edges, and I'll leave that for nature. So this is the edge of the woods that I'm going to be camping in tonight, guys. Really kind of mixture of pines, firs, silver birch, and a few oak and beech in there, but mainly the former. There's loads of bracken around the area, so I'm going to just find a little bit off the beaten track and we're going to have an adventure. And actually, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll have known that one of my stories was asking questions about this solo camp and if there was anything you guys wanted to include. And James Webber replied and he said it'd be great for some advice on how to pick a spot. So really what I'm looking for is somewhere, obviously if you're wild camping, somewhere off the beaten track, non-intrusive. I'm always looking to the sky for the kind of species. I'm looking up to see if there's beech. Is there any dead fallen limbs, widow makers? Somewhere that's got good natural protection. So, you know, if it was covered in holly or thick brambles, thick undergrowth, that would be good and windproof. Somewhere thick pine plantation, very good cover, but you know, pine extremely flammable, and it can also be hard to find a fireplace in that kind of scenario. So it's all about these different things. So I've just seen a spot over here and I'll turn the camera around and we'll have a little adventure. So I've got a kind of pathway here, so I'm taking a right straight down off the path and it goes down this kind of hill into a little valley of woodland. You can see there's a little structure there that some kids have made, which is awesome. Shows that it's probably, you know, tucked away but still on the edge of civilization, you could say. We'll have to go and explore that soon. But as I turn this way, you can see what's caught my eyes are these two fallen trees, and behind there a little bit of a clearing that's tucked behind this hill and thicker planted areas. And again, there's loads of oak here. There's beech over there, so I'd rather not camp under the beech. But over there, mainly oaks, and I'll have a look for some more widow makers, and I won't be anywhere near those fallen trees. So that over there, guys, is the incline that I came down from the path, and you can see I've come down into this area where that fallen tree is, and there's this really nice clearing here which is really grassy, and then there's this also really nice clearing which has got some birch and pine all surrounding it. So let's go have a little explore of these areas, because I want something that's going to give me protection from prying eyes, but also from the weather and the elements. And if I look up, I can't see any fallen branches, dead branches, especially in that area there, really nice and clear. So the only worrying thing is there's that fallen tree, which at the moment, with the weather as it is, as still as anything, there's not too much of a worry. But if it's in higher winds, you'd make sure you steer well away from that. So I think this is where I'm going to call home. I've got a nice little opening out there to the hill that I walked down, and I'm just going to probably set my tarp off of here and have my fire somewhere in this kind of area here. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to set it up yet, but probably something like a Plough point, or you know, a headspace, something like that. So yeah, we'll see. So going on to picking your spot again, I'm looking for good, fairly level ground, nothing too peaty. And if I scrape back here, in fact, the first kind of layer is peat and kind of duff. About 2 inches down, I've hit clay, so that's okay. What I can do is, once I've got my tarp set out, find exactly where I'm going to have a fire pit. But it's always worth checking that before you commit. Otherwise you've got to find some big stones or way of getting your fire not on this ground, which might mean not in camp. So you can see from the way the tarp is, the wind is actually blowing this way. Well worth taking note of. So you can see, guys, I've done a kind of plough point off of this birch here, and I've brought this side down a little bit steeper. I'm on the almost the corner. I've pegged down so it's sharper at that angle, so the opening is more this direction. Starting to look a little bit more homely in there now. I've just scraped all of the loose debris out. So you can see there was a few bits of sweet chestnut in there. I was keen to get that out because I don't want that in my sleeping mat. But also it's an indication that there's some local, so I'll have to have a little forage and see if I can get any for tonight's supper. So I'm going to be starting a fire by friction today. I'm going to be doing a bow drill. So first thing is kind of get the fire pit sorted, get the area where I'm going to have this fire nice and ready. And I'll probably do it somewhere about just here where there's nothing directly above it, and it's a nice opening, not too far away from the camp. And yeah, do some prep, go find some tinder for a tinder bundle, and I've got a set which I made from willow only a week or two ago, so I'm going to use that, and it saves all the time having to go out and get a kit, which I will do a video on soon. God bless me. Anyway, let's get this fire pit doing. While I'm getting down to bare earth, it's worth noting that this is really good wire, and you can split it down, really useful stuff. So it may look like I've just made a big mess, but what I've done is got down to bare earth. There's quite a big old layer of duff, or kind of fallen pine needles, and that material is really flammable. So I'm only going to have a small fire in the middle of this where it's real bare earth. There's a few roots here, and I'm just going to get my little pocket knife out just to nip those off at the end, because I don't want any fire burning or travelling down those roots either. I just tidied up some of those roots with the cricket journeyer, really handy little pocket knife that I can really sharpen easily. You can see how I'm down to bare earth now, completely different colour. This is much more like a clay, so perfect for a fire instead of all of this loose flammable stuff. Tell you what, that works up a sweat, which is not something I want to do. It's going to be a bit chilly tonight, so I want to keep as dry as possible. So I'll take off this shirt. This is just a shirt from Decathlon. It's really good actually. Salognac. I'll put the name of it in the description if I can find it, but it's got a really nice kind of padded area here. It's designed for when you're out with a shotgun, but perfect for stuff like this. Really nice subtle colour as well. So a few people who might be a bit observant might have seen in the coastal camp video I did, I've got a new sleeping bag. I also had it at the Bushcraft show, and that's the Corinthia Defence one, and I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's going to get down to about 7 or 8 degrees tonight, so well within this one's range. This is a cheap kind of £15 poncho, works super well. This is real tree camo. It's not all about having the best gear, it's not all about having Gucci gear either. It's more about just getting out. Got a nice cheap air mat that I got off Amazon. This one's got an inbuilt pillow and an inbuilt foot pump. Really again, great bit of kit. Don't need to spend hundreds of pounds on every bit of kit. And that can just air out there for me now. So let's go and get a bow for the bow drill. I brought some paracord with me. So I've got this really awesome little tool roll, and this is from Thornhill Ultra Heavy. He's a maker on Instagram, and I love his stuff, to be honest. This is all wax canvas. I just wanted something to keep things in, so you can see it's got some different little leather pockets, and then this really awesome strap. Gives you a good workstation. And in there I've got my saw here, folding saw. I've got a little neck knife here, which I'm going to put on now. That's my little survival kind of necklace that I've been working on. It was inspired obviously by the man himself, Ray Mears. But I've got a little field and steel splinter knife in there, handy for whittling. I've got a little compass, a whistle, and a little torch. So yeah, something handy to keep on. But what I'll do is I'll get the saw out and we'll go find a bow. Really been loving this silky gone boy. It's finished in the kind of woodsman pattern, so it's just a bit of a more subtle colour, and I really like it. I know I said about Gucci gear, but I wanted to invest in something because I'd gone through about 3 or 4 pocket saws over my life, and yeah, just thought why not go for something good. But did really well cutting this bit of a, I'm not sure what it is actually, bit of sycamore actually. So yeah, just a bit longer than my arm, shoulder to fingertips. I've got a nice thick bit there for the handle, so that should be perfect. It's got the slightest natural curve in it. So there's camp guys from the outside. There's that fallen tree from earlier, and I'm just tucked away in there. So one side of the tarp is covering me, and the other side also is, and the fire will be deep within there. are just over here, guys. There's loads of dry grass, loads of bracken. So yeah, really good for this tinder bundle that I'm looking to do. Now with bracken, you've got to be really careful. Always strip it really gently, because stuff can give you paper cuts really easily. So, got a really nice bundle there. Bracken, and inside some finer grasses. It's going to be perfect. So let's hope we can get an ember now. So I've got my trusty tinder bag here, and inside I've got a few bits of birch bark, which I'll probably keep by the fire, just ready to go. So this is where the Thornhill ultra heavy stuff comes in handy, because it's got a little workspace. So there's my hearthboard, and the ground is a little bit damp, so I'm gonna just be cautious as I go. There's the bearing block, guys, just a nice piece of river stone that fits really nicely in the hand. And I've got a nice piece of bark here, so that's going to be great for catching my ember on. So I think it's important to always have a drink before you do something like this. I've taken off my neck knife just for now. So the kit's working nice. It's got a little bit of a polish on the end, so I need to take that off, which I probably should have done beforehand. Can you already see the smoke, guys? So that shows that a new hole probably was needed. So when I make my notches, I like to just mark it out like a little triangle, find the middle, and then I can cut that bit out and flare it a bit wider at the bottom like it is on this side. So I've got a nice notch cut out there, and we can burn this in and hopefully get an ember. Right, so I've got a notch cut out now. We're just going to go nice and patiently with this until I think there's an ember. Fortunately I slipped there, but very close. So if I keep that going, I should be able to turn that into an ember. There's a good bit of dust there. That was just my bad. So you can see me just battling with the ground here a little bit, and that's a bit of my poor planning there, but nevertheless it's all solvable. There we are, guys. So as is tradition, I lost that ember, but we'll go again. Right, I'm going to go for one more. I'm going to have another drink in a minute. It's always good to have drinks when you're doing stuff like this. Rehydrate. It's not always a first time go friction fire. You see plenty of smoke, massive piles of dust. Just no ember there, and I'm having a little bit of difficulty with this area, so I'm actually going to move and not battle. There's a lot less stuff in the way, the ground's a little bit firmer, he says, but we'll see. I'm going to burn in another hole. Perseverance is worthwhile, guys. Got smoke there. It's still coming. So I'm just going to gently waft that. Let that build for a second. You still see the smoke there. I don't want to lose this. So in my tinder bundle, I'm going to put a little bit of King Alfred's cake in there. You see that smoke building now. I've got a bit of King Alfred's cake in there. And then I've got that there. Oh man, am I happy to have that. So, see how much I'm shaking. I'm going to just get that into there. And like Tom said, get it used to its new home. Oh, there's a lot of dampness in my breath and I'm sweating quite a bit, so that's why I'm not directly leaning over it. You see that smoke now? And I can tell that King Alfred's cake has started to char because you can smell it. So I'm just going to get that in there and nuzzle him nice and deep. I'm going to start blowing that. You hear that starting to crackle now? Almost there. But we definitely have fire, guys. Hey, here we are, guys. Fire by friction. Up in the woods on a solo camp for the first time in forever. That is an amazing feeling, guys. And you can see I had to persevere and persevere and persevere, but we got there. Don't know how much of a relief that is, guys. But it's not over there yet. I've got to get this fire fully going. Just about getting enough air in there. And I'm feeding a few bits of this birch bark in with it, just to get it nicely started so these twigs can take hold. Once the flames creep through the top, I'll put on my next bundle, which has all got a little bit abused from the bow drilling. But nevertheless, it's already in here to burn. And actually, while I was having a little break in between one of the bows just moving to the different spot, I noticed there's a little pile of timber over there collected by someone, so I think this spot has probably been frequented a little bit by other people. I've seen some pine trees with their branches stripped, but I'm not bothered. You know, I'll be respectful, I'll leave some stuff back in the place, but I will probably use a few of the nicely prepared fallen deadwood that's over there. It'd be rude not to. So that was a willow on willow kit, guys, and I've got the other half of the spindle there. You can see that was once a spindle, and I split it in half and made this second hole that I burnt in. I accidentally, because the ground was a little bit soft, I was pushing in so it slipped off this way, so I didn't end up using that. I actually got my ember in my first hole that I'd made, this one, and I did go to make a third, but said, right, let's give one more hit on this, one last little push, and we got it. So I'm going to put this away back in the Thornhill roll. That stone can get put in there. I'll just give it a little shake, get the dirt off, and yeah, pretty happy with that. Couldn't ask for better. Man, does that feel rewarding, getting a fire going by friction. And that was a willow on willow kit. Yeah, just worth the perseverance. You could see me there having goes and goes and goes, and I kept getting good piles of dust. Just no ember. So that's the way she goes sometimes. And considering I've done that, I think it's fair time that I'm due a little reward. So I've got a few little brews here, as is tradition. I haven't had a drink with you guys in quite a while now. So I've got this, let's have a look. So I thought my camera was recording, but it wasn't. But I've just opened this Siren Broken Dreams. It's a breakfast stout, 6.5%. Nice can, it's kind of textured, and it is definitely stout, definitely kind of coffee-ish. Yeah, you can tell it's 6.5% as well. It's got the kind of real bitter note to it, like a Hobgoblin cross Guinness cross, almost, yeah, cross IPA. So really nice, and I think a well-deserved reward for getting a bow draw fire going. It's been a while since I've done this, and it's really nice actually. Just come out and enjoy it, you know. I've been watching loads of East Anglian Bushcraft videos, and yeah, awesome guy that I met on my coastal camp down with Bushcraft Tools and the gang, and yeah, some of his camps are really awesome, and it's kind of just inspiring to get back out, and yeah, kind of reminded me to get back to roots of my channel. So spend some time with you guys and just have a nice, really relaxing camp, do a few little bushcrafty things, cook up some good food and share some good stories. So that's what tonight's all about. So how cool is this, guys? They already cut log supply, and I'm not going to go mad and use whoever's put this here, although it looks like it's been here quite a while. A lot of leaves and debris all over it, but it's good and dry, and I'm just going to chuck a few of these on the fire to keep it going. And like I said, I'll replenish this stock tomorrow with some of the fallen birch that I've seen in the area. So we've got Beavertown Lupoloid, Siren, Brooklyn Defender, and a Brixton Low Voltage. Looking forward to having all of these. Obviously I've started on this, it's almost gone. Yeah, deep kind of thick malty kind of breakfast coffee. Not sure if I'm keen on it, but I'm gonna get it down me anyway. Definitely a dark one, bloody hell. It's gonna get me hungry for the night, and probably bloody send me to sleep after all of these. I'm not a massive drinker, but I do like it when I'm out in the woods, and yeah, it's just good to share something. I know some of you guys probably love your ales and stuff, so if there's any good one here that I can recommend, I will do. So in this little side satchel I've got all sorts of goodies, and one of them is this, a little bag of beef jerky. I'll put a bit on there, you can have a little look. This is stuff that I made at home. You can probably see on my Instagram sometimes, my stories. I'm always making this stuff. And if you want a video on how to make this beef jerky, do let me know down in the comments below, and I'm happy to do that. It's a homemade recipe, really, really good. And it's a really good snack for after you've done stuff like a bow drill. That is so tasty, guys. No, it's fresh. I only finished that today. so evening's starting to come in now. But nevertheless, it's good to just explore a little bit. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I want to go and check out this little den that the kids have built up here that we saw on the way in. And I'm also going to try and see if I can do a little bit of utensil carving. Maybe just make a little spatula, because I actually got asked by another chap on Instagram through my story to feature that in this video. And if you guys want to do that ever, make sure you follow me on Instagram so you can see my stories and reply for when I'm going out, and give me suggestions for what to do, or drop a comment down below what you'd love to see. But we're here anyway at this cool little structure, and it's so akin to something I'd have built when I was about 5 or 6. It's awesome. Here we are, guys. Pretty cool. Pretty spacious inside, that's for sure. Made up of loads of oak and birch and beech branches, all stacked up into a fork where they're crisscrossing, and it's really cool, isn't it? Nice to know that kids are still doing the same kind of thing, coming out and having a good old den build. And this is really inspiring to me to actually come out and do a little structure like this myself and stay in it for a night or two. So maybe that will be one of the next kind of videos coming out. But we'll see. Let's bring you in closer. If we go in, it's pretty damn spacious. You can see obviously the sides are falling through, so it'd need a hell of a lot of work if you were going to make this inhabitable. But nevertheless, the base structure's kind of there. There's plenty of room all the way up, and it's nice and clear down at the bottom here too. The sun's really starting to go down now. It's probably coming on to 6-7 o'clock, so the light's starting to fade. But yeah, I'm going to go back, have a little look for a nice fresh kind of bit of birch that I can maybe be able to split down and use to make a utensil. I only want a small little one tonight, just a little handheld spatula for helping me cook. And it's something that, you know, if any of you got little ones, it's something that's well worth getting them into. Nice little task, a simple spatula for cooking. I always have this funny memory of Rob. You probably remember him in a few of my videos years and years ago. Unfortunately, Rob went off to Australia, and then ever since he's been down a different part of England. But yeah, must catch up with him. But one of the funniest memories, we were on a tree kind of like this, much lower, fallen, but it was hung up in a tree, probably about 4 or 5 foot off the ground. And we stood on it and bouncing up and down, and I got off, and Rob and one of the lads that we were with were still jumping, and then the tree gave way and they surfed it and rode it all the way down. Could have ended a lot worse, but yeah, it was fine. But still, one to be careful of. Probably shouldn't really play around on this too much, especially if I was in a situation where I was relying on getting out, because I wouldn't want to fall and land on a branch and punch myself anywhere. Very easily done. But yeah, cool to play around on. And just a quick little tip: if you ever do find a fallen tree like this, sometimes it's a good place to find flint and other rocks and stones and bits like that. Also a good place for a shelter. So it's getting a little bit dark, so I put the light on, and I found this little bit of birch, and you might think, well, that's a bit small for a spatula, but I'm using my zebra billy can, so I don't actually need a really wide mouth. And of course the spatula, the beautiful thing about it is it can be the size you want. So I'm going to split this down until I have a bit more of a board, then we can mark it out and just shave down, and I'll show you how I'd make a simple little spatula, and something in an easy way for children to enjoy doing as well. And I'll just baton it down. And again, being a bit twisted, this birch, it's splitting a little bit off. So standing behind the block is a really good way of protecting yourself, especially for younger people. And you can see I've actually nicked myself just there. That was when I was just holding the blade off camera. I just nipped it up against my hand there, and just because I've sharpened this recently, the tip just nicked into me, but it's nothing too deep, it's just a surface scratch. It looks a lot worse than it is. So anywhere this blade can go is away from me. It's way behind me, and if it was coming this way I'd be doing something completely wrong. And you can see what I'm trying to do is just get a nice flat kind of board there. So what you can do is turn the blade towards your knuckle, like so. And if I sit on here, we can use what's called the chest lever grip, where you push away like this. It's very controlled, very easy, good cuts. Now the beauty of something like a spatula is obviously it's a fairly straight, uniform thing. So I know I only want my spatula head to be about that big, and the rest can be handle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut almost to the middle. I'm going to cut about a third, and leave the middle third as the handle. Run that all the way up to gauge how much I should take off at the top. Now it's a case of just batoning down on the knife. Now one thing about this wood is it's already quite seasoned. It's not green wood, which you'd normally use for carving, but this is all I had to hand. I've just been whittling away on this with my splinter from Field and Steel. Really nice little neck knife actually, I really enjoy it. And yeah, I'm getting there with this. It's just a case of just keep going until you've got where you want to reach really with carving. It's all about having fun. And do you know what? This is a chunky old spatula in places. It's going to work perfectly for what I need it to, need to do with it. It's only, finesse that makes you go that little bit further, and you do one little bit and you learn a bit of techniques about carving, and you can apply that to other things. So I'm going to whack out a bit more jerky. I'll take this head torch off actually, because I've got the torch on this camera, which was recommended to me by Nathan from SNN Outdoors when I was down at the coastal camp, and it's a beast of a light. I absolutely love it. It's really good, so thank you, mate. Yeah, bit of jerky while I settle my stomach, and I'll get my cooking stuff out. So I've got my zebra billy cam, and inside that I've just got a few go ahead bars and some Heinz beans, Spanish beans with smoky pepper and onion. So nice and simple. And recently I've got this really cool thing from Thornhill Ultra Heavy as well. This is Sammy pouch, and yeah, I love it. I've just got a little bit of oil there for the pan, some salami and some rice. I think I've also got a little bit of Sichuan pepper and salt, which is a little mixture, and a spoon that I made, and that is some sycamore. If I turn down the brightness, it's a little bit bright. So yeah, nice little sycamore spoon that I made. It's got a nice kick to it, but the idea is for more dried goods, but I thought I'd bring it along with me anyway. But for now, I'm going to use the spatula I've been making, and yeah, should be awesome. Let's get cooking. I've also got a little chopping board with me actually. Really cool, picked it up at a charity shop, only £1, so be perfect for cutting this sausage on. And I think it's time for another brew. So what are we getting out of the mystery bag? Low voltage session IPA from Brixton Brewery. So yeah, let's have a go. Oh, that's nice. That's tangy, really nice and fruity, hoppy. Oh, it's so refreshing. Cheers guys. So this is a really nice beeswax Yuko candle. They last a lot longer, a few more hours than the 9-hour candles, and it just gives a little bit of light to my camp. And I'll probably cube that up just into quarters. Just make it easier to cook. Not that it needs a lot, I could eat this as it is, but just to heat it through. So I've got my spatula there that I made. I've got my Zebra 12cm billy can. Bit of oil in there. Salami is quite oily anyway. And I'm gonna put that in. So I haven't finished carving this spatula and I'm already using it, and that's because it's fit for purpose. Fits in the Zebra really nicely, and yeah, if I want to I can clean it up tomorrow and keep whittling away, or even this evening, which I probably will do. But this is starting to smell amazing and my stomach is rumbling, so just a few more minutes of frying this and I'm going to get the rice in. Just whack that in. And give that a good stir. I'm actually going to grab my little Trangia handle. I'll show you that in a second. Really helpful in situations like this. So as I said, I've gone and got my little Trangia handle, little aluminium gripper, and it's perfect for stuff like this. You can hold the edge knowing that it's going to be cold, doesn't transfer the heat, and actually left it right over the fire, and allows me to just get this all nicely mixed together with that spatula that I made. And once that started to heat through, I'm just going to add in my beans. Just going to plonk those in to give a bit of flavour to this dish. So that will help get all that flavour together and through. See how this is coming along? Oh, good bit of steam. That's what we want to see. I reckon another 5 minutes and we'll be somewhere near the mark. That looks good, guys. I'm just going to check a little bit. I've got the spork here from Bushcraft tools. That's perfect. So I've got my food here. Spatula worked wonders. Helped me stir, which I'm happy about. I'm going to dig into this because I am absolutely starving. Oh man, that is good. I can't explain how good that is. Oh. That salami, oh, so good. I can't tell you how rewarding that is. Really good. I'm going to enjoy this, finish the rest of this low voltage. I'm almost there. So as usual, I always forget I've packed one thing, and that is this little seat, which is really awesome. It's made by Brown's Bushcraft, and it's got a really nice kind of tweed wool on the inside. And yeah, just somewhere to perch, and it's really, really comfortable. Got this beer here, the Beavertown Lupaloid. It's just really, really relaxing. Got some silver birch logs on the fire now, kicking out a good bit of light. Yeah, it's just really nice to be here, enjoying the woods, guys. So yeah,
definitely need to come out and do this more. Super relaxing. Been so busy with the truck, filming all of that kind of stuff, and going out on trips like to the Bushcraft show with Josh, Tom, that I haven't done much solo stuff. So if you guys want to see more of this kind of content, definitely drop a comment down below and I'll try and get that done. And yeah, just any ideas for kind of future episodes would be awesome. Hopefully my truck will be done very, very soon. I filmed loads of stuff and I just need to get it all edited. And then I'll be able to use her to come out on trips, kind of like this, but you know, use the vehicle to get some cool places, maybe camp with the truck, and then do some excursions. So yeah, loads to come up ahead on the channel, and thanks to all you guys for subscribing, and if you haven't, have a think about it, because it really does help motivate me, and yeah, help get the channel out there to some other people who might not have seen some of the cool things we get up to.
With the most perfect thing for a night in the woods. Dry roasted peanuts. So these are amazing. Cannot beat them. So good. Don't know if you guys are the same, but when I'm out, flavours get like really important to me. Yeah, like, you know, I wish sometimes I wish I just bought like a little squash bottle or something with me, or some sweets or something. But yeah, nuts are amazing. Yeah, I love them, and I love this bag. Check out Thornhill Ultra Heavy. It's got some really cool stuff. Bloody amazing. It's a funny fact actually, before I go, when I was in Australia, these were impossible to get, like no one had heard of them. Dry roasted peanuts. I'll show you the pack in a bit, but man, did I miss them when I was over there. So yeah, I don't know if they're just an English thing. Any of you other guys that are global, let me know down in the comments below if you guys have them. Dry roasted flavoured peanuts. So yeah, going for a little adventure in the dark. Pretty cool actually. I put a little mark on the nearest path pointing at my camp, so when I see that on the way back I'll know exactly where camp is. There's an owl calling away. I've heard him throughout the night. The woods look so magical at this time of night. Well guys, that was pretty awesome. The owl was just right above me over there. I couldn't see it, but man, it was close. Just another reason to get out for a little wander while it's dark. I'm going to head back to camp. I've only been gone a very short amount of time, and yeah, don't want to leave the fire unattended for too long. And this is my little marker. It's pretty hard to miss. Just used the dead, rotting wood to make a very distinct arrow that way, which is where camp is, all the way down there. Can't see a thing, which is good, so I'll kick that out of the way so no one else can find my camp. Not that anyone would, but an arrow is a bit obvious. We'll head back. And there's some fresh chestnuts, guys. I didn't think I'd find any. The squirrels have been having them all. And what do I mean by that? They've been opening them up, ripping them apart, and they've not actually been that good this year. But they're very spiky. Oh, and you can see they've already been in there and had the best ones and left the little shells behind. So I'm about to hit the hay now, guys. It's been a wonderful night, had some great food, great beers, just really nice to kind of zone out and chill out here in the woods. But thanks for tuning in for the day, and I'll see you in the morning. Morning guys, just woke up,
slept really, really well. Only woke about once or twice through the night and just had to reposition. I'm probably just gonna get the fire going, just the last little bits of these ends here, blow them to a flame just for a little bit of warmth while I pack up camp and then head out of here. Last night I did a little bit more whittling on the spatula, so I got it a lot more thinner, much thinner profile, and rounded the handle off. So yeah, really cool little project and something to use at camp as well. And I'm just gonna throw a few sparks onto here. Oh, that's nice and warm, guys. So here's the spatula that I made, guys. You see I've thinned it down a hell of a lot. Made it a little bit more usable. Hasn't got any bend in it. Rounded the handle off ever so slightly. And yeah, really happy with how it's turned out. Obviously, it's not the most amazing, neatest spatula, but it's definitely fit for purpose. And when you get back home, I can just have a good run over with sandpaper or find up with a knife. I'll probably go to town with it a little bit more, but yeah, more than perfect for the job. So I've just got a go-ahead breakfast bar this morning. Yeah, I'm probably not going to cook anything up for breakfast, only because I need to get out of here fairly soon. But I've had an amazing camp, really nice to get out overnight, and yeah, I'm going to have this, start striking camp, make sure the fire is all safe. I let it burn down overnight, so I'm just getting rid of the last few little burnt ends, and should be good to go. It's always handy to bring a little bag in for waste. This is a really nice muntjac just barking there, guys. I tried to get it on camera, but unfortunately it was just a bit down the hill, and we saw a little flash of movement, but that was a really nice bark, probably in his territory. But yeah, I'm just setting myself probably like half an hour kind of just to get things clear, get things down, and sort up a little bit of wood to replace in that pile that I found yesterday. Little unwritten rule of bushcrafters, and I appreciated it being there, so I'll get the saw out, do that, and then yeah, get striking camp. But I've absolutely loved this. Loved the Plough point setup. Really, really cosy, and yeah, couldn't ask for more really. So you can see my survival necklace, guys. There's a splinter from Field and Steel. We've got a compass, a whistle, and a little light. I've just hung that off the corner of my tarp, so it's easy to grab. I have another bottle of water here. I'm just going to use this on these areas here. It's still quite warm from the fire. Really, I'll work that through by hand and have a feel. If I can grab anything, then I know it's not burning.
So I'll give it a good rub between the hands. Scatter it really nice and far and wide. And I can then guarantee that this fire's out and I don't have to have anxiety for days and days and days. You know, it's look after the thing you come and enjoy so much. You see all the clay that I was on? So the fire's nicely out now, really good and cool. I'm just gonna, again, move a little bit of this dry clay material, scatter it a little bit far and wide, and then cover her over. And this is all really damp material, so if anything it's going to act as an extra little bit of a cooling sink. Not that there was any warmth left here, but you don't want to be piling dry stuff straight over the top. That's me, guys. So thanks for watching, guys. If you don't already, drop me a subscribe down below. It really helps. And also check me out over on Instagram. I share loads of stuff about these kind of camps, especially before they come up, and you get an opportunity to kind of let me know what you want to see. But like I said, hope you've enjoyed it, and until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Look at the state of the woods they've made, guys. That's insane. A big old forester in here. Man. They have wrecked the woods. Look at the state of it. So I had to do a bit of evasive manoeuvring from a forester. They're absolutely demolishing this area of the woods at the moment. Not really doing it with much care either. Loads of old people that walk around this area, and the ruts are just insane. And for some reason they're just cutting all the nice trees and leaving all the crap. But we'll see. I guess this is someone's bread and butter. You can see the destruction of timber. This goes for miles. Just goes and goes. But hey, such is life, unfortunately. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon. Just thought I'd share that little experience with the forester there. Madness. See you later.